Hey guys, welcome back to the second channel where we are diving into another fast-paced electric bike review video, this one on the TENWAYS AGOX. So you'll see it's already assembled, and that's because TENWAYS did a great job doing a video assembling it. I will drop that link down below, along with a link for pricing on these. This is not a low-end bike, fairly mid-range price I would call it, with a lot of premium components, a lot of bang for the buck. It came packaged very nicely, didn't find any damage on the bike at all. And assembly was a breeze with the supplied tools. I also did pull the battery out, fully juice that up. This is a 3 amp output charger. The battery's built into the frame, 36 volts, 14 amp hours, or 504 watt hours. And to remove it, you take the keys, which were up on the bars, give this one a twist, and they do have a secondary lock, that way you don't go dropping it. There's a look at it. Lightweight. You can put it back on, just line the bottom and snap her in. Speaking of weight, this comes in at 64 pounds and it's the large frame. I do have an XL as well. Large is rated for 5'5" to 6'3", and XL for 6'3" and above. You'll notice the seat, this is the highest position you can go with it. I always put it there so that way when I jump on it, you guys can see what it'll look like. Let's just touch on some other specs on this. You might notice already we have a mid-drive on this bike. Most of the bikes I test, the lower end ones, they're always hub motors. This is a Beifeng M410. It's a 250 watt. So this bike is limited at 20 miles per hour. Not sure if that can be unlocked or not. Of course, you can pedal faster than that, but the motor stops supplying at 20. You got 29-inch wheels on here, and I would call these more of a hybrid tire. They are 2.25 inches wide, so you got some good meat. I did pump them up to the max of 65 psi, but you see we got the front suspension, which does have a lockout on the right side and adjustable preload on the left. You have front and rear hydraulic disc brakes by Tektro. Comes factory with aluminum fenders on the front and rear, and this nice heavy-duty rack that shows 25 kilograms max load. I like that it comes with a factory tail light and integrated headlight up on the front. Check out the frame on here. I mean, if that's not streamlined, I don't know what is. You can't even see any welds. It's fully seamless. Since this bike's a mid-drive, you'll notice it does have the speed sensor mounted down here. And I like how all the cables are inside of the frame. You don't have any exposed cables running up and down, just up top and down here at the back. Nothing to get damaged. And check out the cassette on here. This comes with a Shimano 10-speed. That's premium. Oh, there's a yellow jacket. Sorry, I was just was fighting those the other day. I'm getting aggressive with this heat. It's like 95 degrees out. Now I'm 6'3", 180 pounds, and here's how I look getting on the bike with the seat at its max. That's a big reach over top, and yeah, that's probably going to be a little too high for me. But look at that. I mean, I have my leg fully extended out, and I haven't tweaked. See, I don't ride with it that high, so I'm going to go ahead and drop her down a little bit. And yeah, that feels pretty nice for me. I like the position of the bars. Front forks feel good. I do hear the spring in there. So usually you don't hear them, but let me hear the rebound. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how they do on the ride. I like how the kickstand's all the way in the back too, so if you leave it down, it doesn't interfere with the crank and pedals. Here's a look at the very sleek LCD display on there. To power it up, you just long press the power button, and that'll juice up. You got plus and minus. Now you'll show showing the password. You can adjust those, but I think it's just 0, right? So you press this power button to cycle through. On the 5th click, it gets us into the display. There's a look at it. Very simple. We do have 5 assist levels. The settings are super user-friendly. I mean, just touching on it real quick, you hold these two together, plus and minus, and so you got the clear trip, miles per hour if you want to change that. You got your backlight brightness, which you can set to auto or 1 through 5. Auto power off at 10 minutes. Auto headlight, I have that off. Speed limit, it's max 32 kilometers an hour. I tried going up with that. You can change, turn the password on or off, or change your password. It shows you system info and date and time. And then there's actually an app you can download to be able to track your riding, which I haven't done, but that's kind of cool. You just scan it right here. I mean, and you go down one more, that's how you exit. I'm ready to go for a ride. I'm gonna see if I can convince Jen to come out in this heat, and I'll see you guys out on the trail. All right, we got Jennifer with us, and we are gonna embark on a journey up to Lumberville, starting in Washington's Crossing, which is where The General George Washington crossed the river with his troops in 1776 on Christmas night. A daring maneuver, but it led to the victory of the Battle of Trenton. Let's go. We're Labor Day and the leaves are already starting to turn. How about that? So right now I have no pedal assist on, and geez, I gotta say, especially with the 65 PSI, this thing pedals wonderfully. Slow speed stability, pretty good. Let's try out the shifting. Bang it through a couple gears. All right. Oh, indicating 11 mile an hour right now. And let me always do no hands because that gives me a good idea how the geometry is of the bike. At low speed, it feels good. No wobbles, shakes, or problems. They got these old buildings from the colonial times. I remember there used to be a candy store in one of these when I was a kid. It's pretty cool. It's neat they're still here, but the candy store is not. And now we're on the path. Let's try out the pedal assist. And there goes number one. Not doing much, pretty much just holding me at 10 mile an hour. Number two, a little bit more. And three, oh, there it is. Very smooth power engagement. 4 and 5. Wow, I mean, when you ride a mid motor, it's just such a difference because this has a torque sensor down in there, and compared to the hub motor, it's like when you let off, the power just stops immediately. You start to pedal, and it's just a smooth transition. It's not like an on-off switch, you know. It gets up to the max 20 mile an hour speed effortlessly, which you can see on GPS is a true 20 miles per hour. And at slower speed, I don't know if you can hear it, but listen to the motor. It's got a nice little whistle to it. Sounds good. I'll let Jen go ahead, but we will catch up from a dead stop on Assist 5, Gear 1. Check out the torque on this. If you just roll on, I mean, it really... So that shows how long it takes for the motor to shut off. Watch, here we go. Well, it's about maybe a half second or so. It's not immediate. Well, let's bang it through these gears now and see if we get any jerking. See, a little bit rough on the upshift if you keep pedaling, but that's normal. On these mid drives, you should stop, shift and then start pedaling. Shouldn't be full tilt pedaling and shifting. You're gonna end up wearing the derailleur out and the sprockets. One thing I don't like is the lack of a bell from the factory. I mean, it's easy to bolt one on, but I just feel like every bike should have that right out of the box. And a cell phone holder, but that's easy enough to just clamp one on. I got this universal guy off of Amazon, works well. We're still full greenery this time of year, but as the next month or so approaches, all the leaves start coming down and changing. It's just a beautiful section of the canal path here. At 20 mile an hour, this feels real good, and I like the factory gearing. I can pedal on this and basically take over completely from the motor. On this ride, we're gonna be doing, trying to use the motor the whole time and not doing too much of my legs, because otherwise, you just don't know how much effort I was really putting in. So let me call it back up to Jen. Going over an aqueduct. We just rolled over the 5 mile mark, and at 20 mile an hour, I'm gonna turn all the assist off and see, I'm gonna do, let's call it 2 miles, just pedaling, and see at the end of the 2 miles what speed I'm holding. I'm down to about 18, but I feel like I can hold that now without any power assist. And there is the 2 mile mark. I was able to hold 16 and a half very comfortably. These hybrid tires, the 29ers, especially pumped all the way up, that was nice and easy to pedal, which, compared to the fat tire bikes, that's the big difference between this and one of those, is like, you're not gonna keep those at 16 or 18 mile an hour getting a good workout. It's way too much. It's passing through historic New Hope, Pennsylvania. We stopped in a Triumph for a quick brew, and then we'll tag on the trail a little bit more up to Lumberville. This is the historic New Hope Ivyland Railroad. I got a bunch of steam locomotives and such. Pretty neat, actually. Historic rides, novelty kind of thing, but pretty awesome.
All 2 miles. 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 2 mi
Well, it's getting a little gloomy out. Some storms in the vicinity, but we're gonna continue north up the path from here. Jen has an obsession with trains, actually.
No, it's you.
Oh, wait a second. All the way up there, it looks like they have a steam locomotive with the cap off the front. Oh, yeah. Check that out. She said, babe, there's a toad. This is way cooler than a toad. Oh, man. That is so neat looking inside of here. Yeah, look. It's got a repair on the side. Just a stunning piece of machinery. Look at all those rivets. What happened to your legs here?
Oh! It's like spray paint.
You're dirty. This one's got a bunch of like Christmas tree stuff in it for their Christmas time, just kind of storage. Golden Sea. Stainless steel. It's quality right there. Hill climbs like this, you go slow, we're in the first gear. Look at this. It's just effortlessly. Motor's up. Unlike a hub motor, they have no power. If you slow down to a slow speed on a steep hill, you're done. You might as well just walk it on up. Back onto the canal we go.
The sun'll come out tomorrow, so you better hang on till tomorrow.
Yeah, this person's set up here. It's too bad the canal doesn't have any water at this spot. These are some pretty neat looking houses. With a nice view of the river. That's Stockton just across there. Ooh, this one's actually for sale. Probably like $5 million, maybe more, I don't know. Look at that place. You see this right here?
Yeah.
You know what it means?
No.
29 miles from Bristol, Pennsylvania. So 31 more miles and we'll be at the end of this path in Easton, and then it turns into the rail trail where you can ride it all the way up to, geez, past like Jim Thorpe. And we have made it to Lumberville. This is the walk bridge across the river over to Bulls Island. I think we'll probably be going over to take the Jersey side back. Lumberville is our turnaround, which is pretty convenient because it looks like the path is closed from here on out. And look down into that lock. This is fully intact still. Here's a look at the gates on both sides. That's a deep one. And we're gonna stop in this Black Bass Hotel and grab a bite to eat. So as we leave the hamlet of Lumberville, we're now entering Bulls Island State Park.
What's a hamlet, Chris?
It's smaller than a town or village. As we're riding back at night, this light is decent for seeing what's directly in front of you, but it's really not pointed up as high as I'd like it, and it's not adjustable, being built into the frame. You can see Jen's light all the way up there. As we get into Lambertville, you can see the remnants of these old railroad tracks. And you go down a little bit, got this old railroad car. Jen's about to do the honors. How is it in there?
What's a good song? I hear the train coming, it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison.
And time keeps going on. And we have made it back. Still got 4% on the battery, and we did a total of 32.5 miles, but 2 of those miles was just me pedaling. All right, we are back home and ready to wrap up on the TENWAYS AGOX. I will say this bike's probably not for everybody because you don't have a thumb throttle and you do have to pedal to go, but it's nice because it doesn't have a giant battery sticking off on it. It looks like almost a regular bicycle, and you can pedal it like a regular bicycle. I did those 2 miles holding around 16.5 to 18 miles an hour, and it was no problem at all. Juiced up the battery last night, and takes around 5 hours with the 3 amp charger, being a 14 amp hour battery. And that's all I got to say about the TENWAYS. There will be a link to it down below if you want to check out current pricing and such. Appreciate you guys tuning in very much. Hopefully you enjoy coming along on some of these rides. I know a lot of people don't love the e-bike stuff, but we'll be getting back to lots of wrenching, especially on the main channel. This is over on the second channel, all the review stuff. And here's a little sneak peek at the lift. Finally have a lift. This is a rotary 10K asymmetric, and I am just beyond stoked to have this. You can see the CJ7 is leaking a whole bunch of gear oil out of that rear cover. So about to pull that, seal it up, because been driving the heck out of this unit, just enjoying it. Have the fire extinguisher mounted on there, safety first, right? And I guess we gotta go do something with you now. Oh, come on, boy, let's go. Yeah, it's so hot out, huh? It's so hot. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's a good boy. You wanna play? You wanna wrestle? Guess we'll let you ladies out too.